All signs point to 2016 being a great year to buy a home. We'll tell you why. Keep it right here. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching the Real Estate News. I'm your host, Stacy Hansen. Let's look at your headlines. A new report by CNN Money shows that 2016 will be a great year to buy a home. Though home prices have been on the rise for some time now, they're likely to slow down next year. They're predicted to rise only about 3.5%, according to Zillow. This slowdown should lead more homeowners to list their homes, bringing a wider selection of choices for buyers. And as builders focus more on starter and middle-range homes, the inventory should get that much bigger. Realtor.com also reports that the Federal Reserve is expected to begin increasing interest rates soon. Since rates will go up gradually, they say you'll get the best interest rates you'll see perhaps in your lifetime throughout most of next year. And of course, the earlier in the year, the better. And finally, though rental prices are already high, they are expected to keep climbing over the course of the next year. According to Trulia, interest rates would need to rise about 6.5% for the cost of buying to equal that of renting on a national level. The majority of renters in the U.S. are over the age of 40. That's according to a new report by Harvard University's Joint Center for Housing Studies. Almost 51% of renters have celebrated their 40th birthday. Experts say it points to the lasting damage of the housing crash. The increase in older renters comes after the surge of foreclosures that occurred when the housing bubble popped in 2008. That's when many of these former owners transitioned to renting. The report overturns the assumption that the recent rental boom is led by 20-somethings. In fact, single-family homes are one of the fastest growing shares of the rental market. Google just might be your next mortgage broker. The tech giant has just launched the newest addition to its suite of Google Compare products specifically for mortgages. Users can use the tool to find and compare home loans. CNN Money reports that the product is currently only available in California, but Google does plan to expand the service to other states. Per a statement from Google, the site gives you a real-time apples-to-apples comparison of rate quotes from a variety of lenders in as little as 1 minute. Users can also see lenders' ratings and reviews. The company has acknowledged that the mortgage lenders pay to participate via a cost-per-lead model. Current partners include Zillow and LendingTree. Google Compare also allows users to compare rates on car insurance quotes and credit card offers in some states. The San Francisco Federal Credit Union has announced a new loan program that allows buyers to finance up to 100% of their mortgage on loans up to $2 million, and that's with no down payment and no requirement for mortgage insurance. CNBC reports that the Poppy Loan, or Proud Ownership Purchase Program for You, is available for those buyers that work in San Francisco or nearby San Mateo County and can only be used for the purchase of a primary residence. Though the product has raised eyebrows, they say it's nothing like the risky products that fueled the housing crash. Borrowers' income and assets are verified for the Poppy loan. The credit union cites San Francisco's skyrocketing housing costs as well as the struggle residents face to save money to buy a home there as the reason for its new lending program. Stay tuned, we have more coming up right after this. And welcome back. With me now is John Griffin. He's the VP of Business Banking at River Valley Bank. Welcome, John. Great to have you here. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Stacey. I appreciate the opportunity.
So I wanted to talk to you today about all these apartment buildings that are going up around Madison and the general area. Do you think there's getting to be too many here?
That's a great question because it comes up all the time lately. A lot of people around the area are starting to be concerned about that. But really, when you see these projects being finished, they are filling up. There's people moving into them, so I don't think so at this point. And I just read a report that was done by the city of Madison that stated there's like 10,000 new households moved into the city, and of that 10,000, 9,000 became renters. So you can see there's still a pretty good demand for multifamily housing.
Wow, that's a huge percentage. I'm surprised at that. So with all the building going around, I mean, are there some of those apartments empty still? I mean, there's so much.
Actually, no, it's just the opposite. Over the last several years, the vacancy rate has gone down in Madison. They don't sit empty at all. Right now, the average vacancy rate is running at about 1%, and normally that healthy rate is at 10%. So you can see there's not many apartments sitting out there.
Wow, that's incredible. So what's the trend for all these new apartments? Are you seeing more upper end for higher income people or lower cost, or is it across the board?
Actually, it's a huge trend towards the upper end.
Wow.
We've got a big influx of professional young people moving to downtown Madison, and that's what they're looking for. And historically, Madison has actually focused on student housing, which would make sense with the University of Wisconsin being located here. But over the years, it's really created a severe shortage of luxury apartments. So now you have these new young professionals moving in, and that's what they want. They want high-end apartments with lots of amenities and no maintenance at all whatsoever. So,
wow. So do you see this slowing down at all at some point, or is it just going to keep on going this way?
if I knew the answer to that question, I could be very rich. It's a gamble for people to take right now. And people in that business are doing that. I mean, there's a lot of people out there investing big dollars in big projects around Madison, and they're just hoping that they recognize the change in the market when it does happen. But I've seen estimates all over the board, but as long as you have positive immigration and job growth and interest rates stay low like they are now, I would see this going on for a while. But some of the estimates I've even seen is going on as far as 5 years, and having that vacancy rate still stay at 5% or lower.
Well, that's good news for the builders out there. And you're in the banking side of it. As a bank, are you anxious to make loans for those types of projects?
Oh, the banks are always eager to participate in loans. That's how we make our money, obviously. So it's actually the job of the community banks, too, to be an active participant in that economic growth. So as I'd mentioned before, with that lower interest rate environment that we're in right now, it really helps us be that active participant and help that economic development.
So is this limited just to the Madison area, or do you think it's nationwide?
Oh, no, I don't think it's nationwide as much as here. Maybe we're a little bit recession-proof, if you want to say. I don't want to jinx us, but this area has been very vibrant for a long time. But even just around Madison, you see a lot of it downtown Madison. However, you look at the outer-lying communities like Middleton's, the Sun Prairies, of Wanakees. They've all had very significant projects out there. And you can even go a little bit further. You look out as far as, say, Cross Plains or Mount Horeb. They have their own significant projects that have been done there.
Well, that's fascinating. I learned a lot today. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And stay tuned. We have more coming up. And welcome back. My next guest is Brian Pitch. He's the Assistant Branch Manager at American Lending Solutions. Welcome, Brian. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Stacy.
Absolutely. So I wanted to have you on here to talk about some of the regulatory changes that are going on right now. What are some of the constraints that are related to the mortgage and lending environment right now?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily categorize them as constraints. There's been some new laws put in place in regards to disclosing information to borrowers. Started in October. Really what they're trying to do is blend the previous disclosure forms to make it easier for borrowers to understand the ins and outs of the lending aspect in terms of the costs involved. The law actually is called TREN120, and it just blends some of the disclosure forms that were previously provided to a borrower. Again, it's intended to make things easier for the borrower to understand.
Okay, so that's an important thing to understand there, that it's actually helping people. Also, the interest rates. You're hearing a lot about those potentially going up. How do you think that's going to affect everything?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve is meeting. There is a better than average chance that they are going to raise interest rates for the first time in 6 years. However, based on the current economic data, I don't think that it's going to be a shock wave through the lending industry. And what I mean by that is interest rates aren't going to go up significantly overnight. I think what it's going to be is a gradual increase over time. However, it does matter because anytime interest rates go up, it does mean that borrowing money gets more expensive. So for a consumer, who's thinking about in the near future to move into the home owning market, home ownership, it's probably a good idea for them to move more quickly than to put things off, because again, their money is just going to be more expensive as time goes on, and quite frankly as well, their buying power goes down. The higher rates are, the less amount of buying power, purchasing power that a homeowner has.
So just quickly, are there some loan programs out there that would be a little more unique that people might not know about?
Yeah, there's a lot of creative loan programs that allow people to do things that a typical local bank's not going to do. For instance, rehabilitation loans through FHA, it's called the 203K loan, allows people to finance home improvement projects above and beyond the purchase price of their home, up to $30,000.
Well, that's great to know that that program is out there. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today.
You're welcome, Stacy. Thanks for having me.
Stay tuned. We have more coming up right after this. And welcome back. My next guest is Kirsten Goggin from Century 21. Welcome. Always a pleasure to have you here, Kirsten.
Thank you much, Stacy.
So last time you mentioned that you have searchmadisonareahomes.com. That's brand new for you. It's huge news. Wanted to follow up with you on that a little bit. Well, how's it going?
It's going really, really well. So obviously, all of the buyers that we currently had using the program that we used prior, they've all been giving us wonderful, wonderful feedback. They said it's excellent. It's very easy to use, tons of extra tools, and they're loving the smartphone app as well. And they're able to do, like, once you save something to your notebook, there's like a built-in pros and cons list. So they're really impressed by it. They're loving it, and we've got a lot of people self-enrolling and getting in on the home search. So it's all very, very good. Very happy that we made the change and that we can now offer this to all of our buyers.
That's great news. Now, the pros and cons list, is that something that the user just themselves, after they look at a house, kind of writes down, this is what I like, this is what I didn't?
Well, actually, right from within the program, in the search itself, once you save something as a favorite, it goes into what they call your notebook. So there's an area there where you can make notes about the property, just like you're kind of saying, like, I liked the open floor plan, or big yard, or whatever you're looking for that you like or don't like. But you can make notes, but then there's also like a pros and cons list where it's kind of just built in, and you can say pros, cons. And the really cool thing too is that you can invite people to participate in your notebook. So your spouse, your friends, parents, family, whoever you want, you can send them an invite and they can join in on your home search, view your lists, your notes, and actually add to them and make their own comments as well. So it's really great that you can bring everybody together, and it's kind of the search before your search, and then you go to the house. Sometimes you have to see it. The pictures can be deceiving, but it's a good place to start.
So if you invite people, can they see then photos of the house, video tours?
Yeah, they see the entire, they can see all of your favorites. I believe they can even do their own little search if they want, but they can see all of your favorites for sure. Go through all the pictures, see all the detailed information about it. Also community information, so you can get snapshots of what's nearby, get local school ratings, everything that would be pertinent to your home search is right at your fingertips.
So you said there's an app for smartphones too on that?
Yep. It's a very intuitive smartphone app. It actually was designed by the same guy who designed the app for the Weather Channel. So
wow.
It's really sophisticated. It's got millions of listings, actually nationwide, but obviously I can only help you if it's in Dane County. Right. But there's a draw. You can actually draw on a map the area that you're interested in, and everything for sale there will pop up. It's got simple tag-based searching options. So if you have to have like a jetted tub or a wood-burning fireplace or whatever your deal is.
We all do. Yeah, you never know.
You just put in the tags and it's going to narrow it right down to exactly what you're looking for. So you're not wasting time, sorting through, looking through pictures or reading through all of the detailed property information at the bottom. So and it will give you push notifications with brand new listings when they hit the market, and market updates as well. So you can kind of get a feeling for when the market's heating up. You might Well, no matter what, you should probably get in there as soon as possible to go view it, because you never know. Something that's been sitting on the market could be gone tomorrow. But the market updates just kind of keep you on top of what's going on, and that's going to affect your negotiating style with your agent. So it's important to kind of just have a gauge on that.
This sounds amazing. I mean, it really sounds like a one-stop shop. You've got everything in one app.
Yes, we're very, very happy that we did this. So, and I'm so thrilled, because all that really matters is what do our buyers think of it? Was it a smart move to invest to offer this? And the answer is an overwhelming yes.
Yeah, it sounds like absolutely yes. Well, thanks so much for stopping by again, Kirsten. Always a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Stay tuned. And welcome back to the Real Estate News. My next guest is Alan Fetter. He's a realtor at Keller Williams. Welcome, Alan. Great to have you back again.
Oh, thanks, Stacy. Thanks for having me.
So this time of year, it's Christmas time. People are busy, but you're out there saying that people can still be out there buying and selling. What do people need to be thinking about this time of year?
Yeah, that is a great question. And, a lot of times people this time of year, because they're busy with the holidays or whatnot, they're thinking ahead to the spring and thinking, yeah, we're going to list our house in the spring, or we're going to buy a house in the spring. And contrary to that belief, actually, this time of year is a great time to be looking for, if you're a buyer, you actually can leverage that a little bit, and there's not as much competition. And then if you're selling your home, you're only dealing really with serious buyers. You're not dealing with that entire influx of a lot of people. So it's nice to have those serious buyers in there looking at your home.
I'm surprised to hear that. I would think that there wouldn't be a whole lot going on out there, but it sounds like it might not be a bad time to do it, huh?
No, we are surprisingly busy right now. As at times it does tend to slow down this time of year, but this year we seem to be really hitting our stride, so we're happy about that.
So somebody's out there thinking, I'm not ready to do it right now. The holidays are just way too busy. Thinking maybe spring or later this winter. Is there anything people can do early in the process to maybe just kind of get a jump on it when they do have a few minutes?
Absolutely. Most people are going to get out there on the internet and start their search that way, which of course is a great way to start. One thing they might not be thinking about is that they maybe should talk to a lender as early as they can to get an idea of kind of what their purchasing power is, and to see what range that they might want to be looking in. Because for someone who's buying, there's nothing worse than looking at a house and then maybe realizing later that, well, that might not be in my budget. And so we try to steer people towards lenders early in the process, and we find that to be really, really valuable.
So on the flip side, if somebody feels like they've got a ton of time on their hands and they're selling and they want to sell on their own and just kind of do everything themselves, what do you say to that?
Well, I would tell them that I think selling on your own can be really challenging, and I would really enlist them to talk to a professional realtor to help them through the process. I've just seen so many people try to sell their homes on their own, and they end up either underpricing it, they end up overpricing it, and no matter how you slice it, they end up losing money typically. And with the assistance of a professional, they really get a lot more guidance, and they end up, in the end, the statistics show they net more money in their pocket.
I think you might have sold a lot of people there thinking that they might be underselling themselves just a little bit and losing some money, so yeah. That's a good point. Well, Thanks so much. It was great to see you again, Alan.
Great to see you, Stacy. Thank you.
Stick around. We have more coming up. And welcome back. Here now is Becky Anderson. She's the owner of Tresta on the Water. Welcome back, Becky. Nice to have you here again.
Thanks, Stacy. It's good to be back.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the hotspot Waypoint Public House, the restaurant and bar that you have there on your property. It's been really busy, really popular. Why do you think that is? Can you tell us about it a little bit?
Well, the food is outstanding. It's a pub-style food, and it also has a huge, huge bar with craft brewed beers, and their wine is exceptional also, and quite reasonable. And the atmosphere is just great for bringing a whole bunch of friends and just hanging out. They've got a balcony on the water where you can, this time of year, there's not open, of course, but
Right.
you can still see the sunset from there because the sun comes around that way now.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so that should be hitting right around pretty close to happy hour, right around
Pretty
then.
close.
So do they offer any happy hour specials, do you know?
You know, I don't believe they do, but their prices are pretty reasonable anyway.
They're already good.
Right. And
Yeah.
our residents can get there without even leaving the property.
That's the nice thing about it, especially once the snow starts to fly, you don't have to drive anywhere. So that's the beautiful thing about your whole property, actually. You've got so much there. You've got Monona Yoga Center and I Give 100 there as well. And you've got a couple other openings too for businesses?
Right, we have 2 more spaces left available. The yoga center is opening in January, and that's for any variety of classes for any abilities that anyone has. And then the other one is a fitness, it's called I Give 100, and that should be opening later this month, but I was by the build out yesterday and it looks like it might be January.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what's different about them? Are they just kind of a smaller, with equipment type of place or classes, or do you know?
No, it's personal trainer.
Okay.
So, and it's going to offer individual, partner, small group trainings, all kinds of things there.
Oh, that's cool. That's really nice to have. And you have a fitness studio too, right?
We do, but it's not the typical fitness center that most complexes have. Ours is what you call fitness on demand. There's 650 fitness videos that you can plug in, like on demand, like on your regular TV, and pick out what you want to do. You can do Pilates, you can do yoga, you can jump rope, you can do whatever. Then
And
we
this-
also have the high-tech treadmill, which we just got for there.
Oh, so what's this high-tech treadmill you've got?
Well, there's a story behind it. I'll tell it to you next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. And then we were talking about restaurants a little bit. You have a lobby cafe too now?
We do. The cafe has salads and sandwiches that are supplied by the Waypoint, so you know you've got a good sandwich there. And you can pick up a bag of chips or soda, even laundry detergent, or you can buy a beer.
So we were talking about the restaurant a little bit too, but you have a lobby cafe now as well.
Yes, we do, and it's really convenient for the residents or anyone that's wandering around the lobby area could purchase a sandwich or a salad, potato chips, even laundry detergent, or a beer or a glass of wine, and they can sit in our lobby and enjoy that. We have a coffee bar. We have a community room that is free for the residents to reserve. We do the public can also use it for a small fee.
And now, do you have some of the Waypoint Public House food there in your lobby cafe? Can people kind of get a sneak bite of it there?
Yes, we do. We have salads and sandwiches that they can grab on their way out for work or just take back to their room. We have one resident that comes and he buys lunch and then he comes back and buys dinner.
Perfect. It couldn't be more convenient there at Traced on the Water. Well, so nice to have you here again, Becky.
Thanks, Stacy.
And you stay tuned. For all of us here, I want to thank our guests for their time today and also thank you for tuning in to your real estate news. I'm Stacy Hansen. We'll see you next time.